Okay, guys, we will analyze the first round of Devon versus Levan. Here, they went to a strap, and now we will watch on slow motion this. Okay, see, this is the start of the match, and Devon lost a little of his riser, front wrist, and Devon's pronator is very strong right now, very strong, and that is why you see Levan's fingers not like this but like this. And when he did the regrip, Devon was able to go even a bit farther once Levan opened his hand. And of course Devon cannot go so far because there's strap, and I can see that from the hand positions, Levan lost a bit of his wrist and riser. You know, his hand here, you see, normally should be going this way with the riser, but as you see, his index fingers here. So he lost a bit of his wrist and a bit his riser. So right now, Devon's angle is not bad. You see here, not bad. It is maybe a little wider than 90 degrees. And Levan, about his arm, I don't think he has so much problem. He protects his angle, but his wrist is not in good position. So we continue, and Levan drags his elbow a bit back and to row and open Devon's brachyradialis, and Devon is pulling back. Now Devon's angle is probably maybe 100 degrees. Yeah, now he opened his hand and Devon went even farther. And Levan's hand position right now is not ideal. He's still putting pressure, but not ideal. So, and now here in this position, Levan is comfortable about his arm, but for sure he doesn't have the wrist control. His grip is not good, but when he pull his elbow back, he kind of open Devon's arm, but not so much, not so much. And Devon, I mean, if I were Devon, I would be closer because then he would be able to apply more side pressure. As you see, Devon is very low at the table, while Levan is so high. Devon is only depending his back pressure, lat, and then pronation. He doesn't apply so much pressure on Levan's arm because he's not using his wrist sideways as a wrist curve to control Levan's pronator, but he is more like dragging him like a lat rowing, and he's applying pressure only with his thumb side to Levan's hand. And while he's only attacking Levan's hand, as you see, he's getting lower at the table, he's losing his side pressure angle, and his arm angle is opening. And now the match continues. Yeah, as you see, Devon has wrist control but not cupping, not any control on Levan's arm, and Levan's fingers are not in ideal position. He slided, and so here I would just say, if I were Devon, I would get a little bit, in fact, closer, just to have more wrist control. But he's focused only on Levan's Levan's hand and wrist. You can clearly see Levan's wrist is now bent back. Not so much, but bent for sure. And Devon didn't lose his wrist. Devon didn't lose his wrist, while Levan lost a bit. Yeah. But because of being so low at the table, and because of only going outside, he is even making his hand from downside even far from Levan's arm. Instead of any application from the bottom side of hand, he is even overpronating just to apply more pressure here to the hand. And this right now is causing Levan to not to feel so much pressure on his arm, but totally on his hand. So Levan now realizes that the pressure is like 90% on his hand and maybe 10% on his arm, on his pronator or any side pressure here. And now we will see, now as you see Levan just, once he realized that his wrist is going back and he just came forward, and Devon's elbow is a bit out from backside, and now Levan's shoulder is also crossing the center, and the referee is stopping the match in this position. I think we will see now from the top angle. As you see now, Devon's arm angle is probably, my guess is 120 degrees. He is low and he is kind of right now vulnerable for side pressure. Not a side pressure with the wrist, but most likely without the wrist, which will turn into shoulder pressure once the Levan puts his shoulder behind. As you see, Levan's wrist, as you can see, a bit lost back. Devon's is more likely neutral, but he doesn't have any cupping. He's just holding it very good, but I think more he overpronated, more he also slided his hand out from Levan's hand, because he's overpronating. He is bringing downside of his hand out to pronate even more, which is causing his own hand to also slide out from Levan's hand, and Levan's fingers are totally he presses, but his fingers are not where it started at the beginning. And Devon has his pronation, and now we will see that now Levan is bringing his shoulder, and Devon realizes, he also pulls, Devon's elbow is now out, and now Levan's shoulder also crosses the center, and Devon's elbow is around like probably maybe 2 inches out from backside, and referee stops the match right now. And so Devon did his homework well about his plan to enable Levan's wrist, but before the match, I said it in my last video about analyzing this. I said it that more important is Devon to control Levan's pronator, and in later rounds we saw that Devon also lost his wrist in later rounds. I think this round he gave his whole, he gave his everything, and especially in the last shoulder pressure, he stretched his arm, and I think that pressure harmed his arm, and later rounds he didn't have much left, and Levan dominated the rest of the rounds. But this first round, with a bit more cupping from Devon's side, I don't know. I mean, to say this very easy, but to do is very hard, because you need that power. You need to coordinate that wrist and pronation at the same time. But I don't think that Devon could do more than this, to Levan's hand, and he did very well, a bit more wrist and a bit more shoulder being close, and application to the sideway would be more effective. But it is just so easy to talk, when you are just watching the match. When people watch, it is always easier to say do this, do that. But whenever it is about the physical power application, it is very, very hard when Levan is very big and very strong. Anyways, I think Devon did very well, and to cause Levan this kind of damage on round one was very impressive. And Levan is still the king, still the unbeatable one in professional arm wrestling. And I wish both guys the best for their future plans and targets. You all take care.